This is Keeping Up the Conversation, an unscripted podcast. And now, here's your hosts, Tori and Big Ken. Follow Keeping Up the Conversation on Facebook at KUTC Live.
Hey, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Keeping Up the Conversation, presented by Blackline Entertainment. I'm your host. What are you trying to see if I forgot who it was presented?
No, just being me.
Can I tell people who we are?
Just being me.
Okay, so I'm Miss Tori, and this is my crazy co-host, Big Ken.
Sometimes.
You know, all the time. So anyway. You know what? I was listening to the intro, and every time the intro comes on and it says our name, sometimes I just get like butterflies. I don't know why. I get these butterflies.
Okay.
I just anyway.
It just does something for you.
It does. It's like good butterflies because it gets me like really excited and happy to be on the show. Get ready for the show. I shouldn't say excited. I shouldn't say excited because all this month we're talking about, it's Valentine's and we have some.
That's something to be excited about.
Yeah,
some people get excited about Valentine's. Some people don't.
Yeah, so anyway, so let's move to our hot topics. At the top of the hour, we are always talking about our hot topics. And so I don't know, Big Ken, if you have seen the documentary or the biopic of Wendy Williams that premiered on January 30th on Lifetime. And so it sort of revealed the best and worst of her, not her, but just the tumultuous things she went through. But she's finding her footing again and telling her truth. But one thing that when I was watching it, I watched it. Okay. But then I don't know if you saw afterwards, it was like sort of like her documentary, and she talked about this guy that raped her, and then she said, should I say the name? Want me to tell you his name? And then it goes into commercial, and it comes back and she says, I'm not going to tell you his name. And so we're like, of course people that are nosy like moi want to know who was this guy that raped you, that violated you. But I did hear that his name was like Sherrick.
Was this supposed to be some dude in the industry or something?
Yeah, he was an R&B singer from the 80s, and he had a song out called Just Call. Don't know. Look up Sherrick, Just Call. And did you get a chance to watch the show?
I haven't gotten a chance to watch the show, but she was in the media, in the news last week because she made her proclamation about her one night stand with Method Man, and I
saw that. Tell me about that. I saw it, but I didn't pay attention to it.
I mean, she's on an interview with DJ Sus1, a DJ out of New York, and she's recanting some things. I didn't see the whole interview, so they just highlighted the part that she talked about Method Man and why she would bring that up. It didn't, from my understanding, it didn't have anything to really do with the interview itself. It wasn't absolutely necessary that she talked about it, but she felt a need to, to put that information out there. And Method Man and his wife were not too happy about that.
I heard about that. So I did see that. But so I'm wondering, how when someone else, right now, Wendy is at like she said, she's living her best life. So, but I'm wondering if because she was going through a divorce, it's like, I'm not going down in this sinking ship by myself. I'm taking people with me. Do you think, like, if there wasn't a point for her to mention it, why did she mention it? Do you think it because she was hurting? Because if you watch her interview, she pretty much cried the entire time. So I'm wondering if,
I don't know, but Wendy has been known in the past to be a little bit of a clout chaser. She does things to garner attention, and of course she's in entertainment, and
Mhm.
she, came from a world where she was in radio and she was kind of like a shock jock, and she would say
Right.
things just to get, a rise out of people. So, I mean, with that being said, when you say something like, bring up something like Method Man, and it was just so long ago, it's
Right.
like,
Yeah.
why is this even relevant? But Method
Yeah.
Man's hot right now. He's popping on
Yeah.
social media. He's on
Yeah.
Power. Like, she feels the necessary need to say, you know what? Here's this bit of information for you all.
Yeah.
So,
But you know what? After watching her show and after, there's the Lifetime movie about her, and then there was the after the show, the sort of like the little documentary. I liked her more. Before, I'm telling you now, I never watched any of her shows more than 5 minutes. It just, wasn't my gossip and all that kind of stuff. That's not my the kind of shows that I like to watch. But some of the stuff that she kind of talked about, I empathize with her, and so I was like, I kind of like her now, you know?
well, I mean, somebody mentioned in the comments here that they watched the whole interview, and that I guess part of what she was talking about, the dealing with Method Man, was probably cut out of the movie. So
Yeah,
because she didn't get clearance for it, and it got left out of the movie, so that's probably why
yeah,
she brought it up. But my thing is, when you're dealing with something like that, you've already been in trouble with this guy because you released news on the radio about his wife having cancer. Like, you
yeah,
released that news and you didn't check with them. They didn't give you clearance to do that. So he already had beef with you. So why would you years later go back and basically pick that scab and talk about this, anything dealing with him again? Because if I had beef with somebody a
right.
while back, I would really try to steer clear of anything dealing with them.
Yeah, it is totally pointless, but I also think that, like you said, sometimes she is an attention seeker, and maybe that was part of it. And sometimes misery loves company. No matter how much she says she's living her
And,
best
and and
life.
I tell people, if a lot of these younger people might not they know the Wendy now, but Wendy, when we were coming up and on radio, Wendy was dope. Wendy was one of
Yeah.
those chicks to to get good interviews from people, really involved and really in touch with, what I'm saying, hip hop and things like that, especially when she was younger. So as she got older, that's why she was able to get certain celebrities to come on her show and talk, what I'm
Mhm.
saying, and be so open on her show. But she got to a point to where she was like, okay, she wanted to release the topic or release something hot, or
Mhm.
basically, trying to garner more attention and trying to stay relevant by dishing,
Right.
other people's news.
Yeah.
So I mean, but she opened the lane for a lot of people. I can say that because there wouldn't
Yeah.
be people like Media Takeout, and some of those other
Yeah.
outlets wouldn't exist if it weren't for people like Wendy, being able to put the gossip out there.
Yeah, and also bringing in when she was, number one on the radio, bringing in a lot of artists.
Hmm.
So yeah, I get it. So if you haven't watched it, Ken, you need to check it out,
I'm definitely gonna check it out.
yeah,
Definitely.
and let me know, and let the world know what you think. Let our audience know what you think. So
I definitely will.
anyway, Valentine's Day is just around the corner. And so if you are single and dating during the pandemic, it can be kind of tough. And I know this the whole month of February, we are going to sort of talk about love and romance, and it's going to be an interesting topic. But I looked up the top 10 states for single people and the top worst states.
Mm.
Texas is actually one of the top 10 states to be single for single people. So it's Florida, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, New York, Illinois, California, Ohio, Michigan, Missouri. And the top 10 worst states to be single in are, let's see, New Mexico, West Virginia, North Dakota, Hawaii. Why is Hawaii bad? Hawaii?
Because it's a tourist place. I mean, I don't think people would be there, like outside of the
Oh,
people who grew up on the island. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think like there would be a bunch of other people there that you would actually be able to date without
Arkansas.
without putting yourself in that culture.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, Arkansas, Delaware, Kentucky, Wyoming, Alaska, Mississippi. Uh, those just seem those should be the top 10 words. It just seems blah. Like I don't, Mississippi.
I'm not gonna hate on Mississippi. I mean, I've been to Mississippi. I had a great time. I had a great time in a bunch of different states that you named that was supposed to be the worst. So, I mean,
Right.
I don't know. I don't live there, so maybe those people, can tell you. I don't know, but I'm definitely not going to talk down on somebody else's state because,
You're a
hey,
rally killer,
yeah,
whatever.
I gotta show love to my people. I know people in those states, Arkansas. Hey, I got a lot of family from Arkansas, so I can't do that.
You're bored. So also what I heard. Okay, top best, top worst. I heard that people who are single, they celebrate Valentine's Day on February 15th. To me, which is weird because if you celebrate Valentine's Day on February 15th, you can celebrate on Valentine's on February 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th. It doesn't even matter. I don't.
February 15th is good because you know what? All of the Valentine's Day stuff is on sale.
Oh
Number
my
one,
god.
and also February 15th is an unofficial holiday. It's a side chick holiday. It's a side
A
chick
side
holiday.
chick holiday?
Yeah, you don't take your side chick out on Valentine's Day. That's for your main chick. That's for your main person. You take your side person out on the next day after.
Only you would
That's
think, because
not
I don't.
that's
You
not
know
that's
what?
not me. That's not me. That's out there.
That's a thing.
Yes. Somebody said
Oh
it in the comments. It's out there.
your side chick day. Oh my god. Oh, you know what?
Marlon
So
Bivens said side folks. I'm telling you, see, it's not just me. Marlon knows.
you know what, Marlon? Your mind is in the wrong place right now.
Hey, Marlon is just regurgitating the information that we're being presented
Uh,
with on social media on a yearly basis. When that Valentine's Day approaches, everybody knows. So if your man says he can't come pick you up or he can't come spend time with you, or your woman says the same thing on Valentine's Day, but they conveniently are available the day after, that's how I'm
mm,
looking at them. I'm like, nah, I don't know. No.
I got to work till midnight. What about tomorrow?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyway, I read this article. Moving on from you and Marlon. So I read this article in Ask Men, and
And what?
Ask Men,
Oh,
Ask Men. Did you think I said
I was like,
ASS?
what kind of magazine is that?
Did you think I said ASSN?
Hey, I was like, okay,
You
what
know
kind of
what?
magazine is that?
You're on something special today. So
I
I
am.
read an article in Ask Men, and it was about men spending money on themselves when they're single during Valentine's Day. So it's like get sexy on your own dime. So it's like you know what's special about spending time alone on Valentine's Day is that you suddenly have the time to master the art of sex all in all forms. You can, and let me read.
Keyword master by yourself.
Yeah, that's what it says. It says one of the things that men can do if they have not already done it is they can buy a brand new vibrator, a fleshlight, and love yourself. Call it love yourself all day.
I mean, if you don't have a date, you're gonna have to do that regardless.
Oh
You
my
don't have
gosh,
much of a choice.
so
And there's also toys out there for guys too, and it's wild. Like they have replicas of mouths. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And like that's becoming
a whole,
something
a
that's
whole yeah, whole bodies.
yeah,
I can't
well,
wait to see
yeah.
that. We're gonna say that because next week we're gonna get into all of that. But you know
Okay.
what? You know what? Also, men can do. They can eat chocolate and cry by themselves on Valentine's Day. How about that?
Not if you're a G. If you're a G, you can't be doing that. You can't be eating chocolate and crying. You can't shed no tears. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's how that's off
Nobody's gonna
limits.
know. Nobody's gonna know.
No, that's off limits. It's definitely off limits, guys. If you don't have a date and you don't have anything to do on Valentine's Day, find somebody else's girl that didn't have time and take her out. It'll work. Just saying.
Find somebody else that didn't say that one more time because
Find
they might
somebody
be.
else's girl that didn't have time to take them out. They didn't have time to take their girl out. She be ready to go.
Okay.
Just saying.
You
I
know
mean,
what?
I can't be there to help you fight or, you know what I'm saying, defend yourself. But I mean, it would be entertaining to see. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm just throwing it out there.
You could just lead them to the fight. You just can't.
I mean,
Yeah.
hey, it's fighting is entertaining.
Okay, so anyway, yeah. I want to get back to the ladies because Ken, I want you to this next oh man. Okay, so all right. So remember early in the year, well, late last year, you and I talked about vagina steaming. Remember, we were talking about that, and the good, the bad, the ugly about it. Well, our guest today, she takes a holistic approach to the way women can improve their health, and one of the ways she does this is through vagina steaming, and she is going to give us some tips on how we can take care of our lady parts. So, Big Ken, you just sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Welcome to the show, Brandy Miles.
Hello there, darling.
Hey, Brandy,
Hello.
girl.
Hello. So I hope you guys okay, like had to do this real quick, but thank you for having me on. I'm super excited
Yes,
that
yes.
it's 2021 and people do not, be afraid to say the word vagina.
I know people are so afraid to say vagina. You don't even have to say the P word, but
Yes.
people are so afraid. Ken, are you afraid to say vagina?
Mm-mm, nah, you like my old school used to tell me, my OG. I tell people, that, my OG used to tell me this stuff all the time. My OG used to say you can't be afraid to say vagina and you want some, so you better be
Ew.
able to say it.
Okay. Well,
Well,
I'm just
very
saying.
good. Yeah. So,
but
um,
you will be surprised. I've been doing this for 6 years, and when I
mhm.
started and like promoting myself, the guys were more inviting once I told them what oh, I do, vaginal steaming, and they were they were more interested in it, and women were shy to talk, of course, about their vagina to a stranger, I
Uh-huh.
guess.
Yeah. Ken, had you heard of vaginas? I heard it from on a talk show. Had you heard of it before? Like
Yeah,
what it was all about?
I mean, I've heard of it, but I did not understand it to the to the degree of it being such a big deal. And
Hmm.
I started asking around, and like a lot of ladies were like, "Yeah, I've had that done." I'm like, "Whoa!" Like so,
Wow.
a lot of women have had it done, and they probably just don't talk about it outwardly. But
Yeah.
when I asked them, they were like, "Yeah, I've done that before. That's a great service," and they talk highly of it. So I was shocked.
All right. So,
Great.
okay. So, Brandy. So, before we get into it, tell it. We always like for our guests to sort of introduce themselves and tell our audience about you and just where you're from, where you are, what you're doing. So,
Okay,
how?
great. Well, I'm not from Dallas. I am from Louisiana, so I'm a Cajun Creole girl.
Okay.
I've been here going on, 9 years now. So it's been awesome. It's been great. I enjoy Dallas. You meet a lot of great people from different places. So, all right. um, I always tell people that Yoni Steam. I didn't pick this. Yoni Steaming picked me. My
Okay,
background
so
is
how did you get into it then? How
yeah.
yeah,
So
okay.
the great as like most, 1 out of 4 Black women are diagnosed with fibroid tumors, and so of course I fell into that category that I was diagnosed with fibroid tumors.
Me too.
Yes. And so, after dealing with, what comes with having fibroids with your, just mentally and physically, what goes on with your body, you go to your OBGYN. And to me, it's like the only solution that they are giving women, especially Black women, are hysterectomies. And at
Mhm.
that time, I had 3 friend girls who had just had hysterectomies earlier that year, and we were in our early 30s at that time. And I'm like, you know what? It's too common. I'm coming across women, especially Black women in their 30s, who have had hysterectomy. So I'm like, is it genocide on the Black woman's uterus? What's going on? So of course I did what everybody else do. When you want to learn something, you hit Google. I always say, "Well, God, Google, and Amazon on my side, anything is possible."
Oh my
Facts.
gosh.
Facts.
And that's when I found out about the Yoni steaming. It's an ancient technique. It's been around for over thousands of years. Even though they reference it like to the Korean culture, when you Google it, it actually goes back to our ancestors all the way
So
back to
so
Africa.
hold on one second. So Ken, I think we have some pictures of that,
Oh yeah.
how it looks, kind of like let people see how it looks. It kind of like has it looks like a potty.
Yeah. Well, everybody's chairs is different. Mine is
Yeah.
I designed and custom made it, so mine look a little bit
Really?
different for
I
that.
wish
Yes.
I had yours.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
could
but
see
so
it.
mine's is a little bit different because I really put thought into it. People sitting down, but you'll have to come enjoy it
I
one day.
am. Can't my co-host is in Dallas, and so I told him we're gonna have to go. He's take his wife. I'll bring my husband. Well,
Well, I
me and
do
his.
No,
guys
y'all.
too. They do
Do
guys A
you?
steam. Yeah, we do A steam for
Oh, wait.
guys. Don't give us
Um.
that look. Don't give us
Um.
that look.
um.
Hold on. Wait. Back up.
Eesh.
That is.
Heterosexual men do steam with their
That is.
partners because it helps. It's preventive care for
Oh, it's hot.
prostate.
I'm hot. Hold
Um,
on.
That's just that she's hot.
Wait, I've never heard that before.
Yeah, we
This is the
learning.
first
We
time
learning.
on the show. Okay, go ahead, girl.
yes.
Cause.
So for my
Mhm.
fellas, it's mostly if they do it with their partners, with their wife, they're doing it, just preventive care.
Oh my
Um,
god.
for your prostate. If you're dealing with hemorrhoids, and most of like the couples who do where they're really on a like a mind body spiritual
That's
journey and they just
crazy.
want to
Yeah.
purge from past,
Yeah.
just past lovers energy because we know sexual energy, it's out there, it's true, what we hear about sexual energy. So
Mhm.
yeah, but mainly back to why I started doing it
Yeah.
first, and before I was just doing it myself. So I was doing the Yoni steaming, and I was seeing great benefits where it helps if a lady is suffering with fibroids, with the just the heavy cycles, the extended cycles, and different things. But on the midst of this journey, I got introduced to guided meditation that
Mm.
sends
Oh, I
positive,
love that.
yes,
Yeah.
subliminal messages to your subconscious. So I just started going on a journey like a mindfulness living, and I really got big into like neuroscience and find out how we're programmed and why we do the things we do and why things happen. And so on my journey, I found out that before things manifest on your physical body, you're holding on to something, you have some type of past trauma or hurt that you haven't
Mhm.
healed from, or some type of subconscious program belief that you're running on your subconscious is not serving you consciously. So when I just had to go, go within, and for me, and even I say for most Black women, that for the last 40 years, I feel like we have been given the strong, independent superwoman program. And then we need
Right.
to put death to that program because
Yeah.
that program have you so much into your masculine energy, and you're
Mhm.
increasing your testosterone and you're naturally
Yeah.
suppressing your estrogen.
Wow.
So, and I just, and I was like, we have to get off of that program.
Mhm.
And so, along with doing the Yoni steaming, I tell ladies 80% if you're not into binary therapy or guided meditation, guys, it's like you really can reprogram yourself on a subconscious level to create a better version of yourself.
So does the yoni steaming or the V steaming, like when the women come there, is does it teaches do you teach them how to sort of relax and kind of get in tune with what their body is telling them or how they're feeling? Do you talk to the women when
Yeah,
they come
so
there?
yes, based on their when they do, they do their intake form, and based off what they check of what physically the West has told them that they've been diagnosed with. We go in subconsciously to see why have you manifest this. I tell people if you don't know, basically from the age of 0 to 7, our brain is in theta. So basically, the tape recorder is on your subconscious
Mhm.
mind. So you're being programmed by your mom, your dad, the family, the culture, and the
Right.
environment that you're around. And so some of those, so we need to go in subconsciously and find out what program are you running. And then, like I said, if most Black women are 1 to 4 times more likely to have fibroid tumors compared to other races. And so that's when, find out a lot. We're at 80% high of single mother homes.
Right.
So that, when we briefly talked before, it's all about, the Yoni steam is great, doing the meditation, but really getting ladies back into their femininity.
Mhm.
and leading with their femininity.
So what is it? What is it like? I know Big Ken just put up the pictures of the, how the, what is it called? The steam,
The Yoni Steam chair.
okay, so the Yoni steam chair. But what is it like? Does it have some type of you know, herbs in it, or what is it that, what's in it?
Yeah, so it has a combination of different herbs. So we use about 14, 15 organic different herbs that we put actually like in a pot. And it's not a blowing steam, ladies. It's non-invasive. Nothing's inserted. It's just a nice warm feeling. And the herbs are infused in the steam. And the vagina is very absorbent that it will absorb it. So it's just going to work its magic. And then you have 30 minutes, like with the meditation. Why I love the program that we use, because I feel like we all have a little touch of ADHD. So
Yeah.
telling you to come and zen out and girl, no, put them headphones on. And literally 7 minutes, they get a mini vacation where they have to shut down their conscious
Wow.
mind and go into a meditative trance of mind, body, spirit, and cut the outside world off. You'll be surprised to after 30 minutes they come out and they literally look like they probably been asleep for a week.
Oh my, so have you ever had a woman like sit on there and get like excited?
Yes, that is one of the great side effects, is that ladies can get an orgasm.
Really? I didn't know if I wanted to say orgasm, but I didn't want to offend Big Ken because he's so sensitive.
What was
So I just,
Yes, they it can happen for some ladies. And from for your partner, I've been told that it gives her the glove fit back to him.
so it can like tighten you up. So it can tighten you up, and it can, I guess, make sex a little sexier, maybe.
Yes, it helps in our areas. That so that's just one of the bonuses of it. And I don't really just push it because that's just the one of the benefits, but don't lead with it, because I don't want
Yeah.
ladies to come in and think I'm doing this for
Yeah.
sexually, because it's really
Yeah.
a mind, body, spirit, to get to the root cause of why you're dealing with the things you're dealing with your womb.
So I want to ask something that's kind of serious when it comes to vagina steaming. I know that a lot of doctors tell women not to, douche because our bodies are designed to host a particular array of bacteria. Uh, uh, does the V steaming remove the good bacteria that the woman's body kind
Okay.
of needs?
Good question. It does not. That's why I'm so anti the yoni pearls. If you have been seeing on social media, the ladies are advertising these yoni pearls, and it's like this little mesh garment with herbs, and they insert it so many days, and then they show you all the things that it pulled out. And I always say, look, I can't
Really?
get, yeah, I can't give medical advice. I'm
I
not
don't
a
think
medical doctor,
yeah.
but I know we have what's
Mm,
called good bacteria and bad bacteria, like you said. So
right.
how you know if you're pulling out the good with the bad? So with yoni steam, like I say, it's non-invasive. It's not like those yoni pearls. We do
Mhm.
yoni eggs for toning and tightening, to do your Kegel
Kind of like the
exercises.
Kegel. Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
but it's an actual
Okay.
actual stone. But yes.
So so for the most part, you would say, in your honest opinion, how safe do you is V steaming?
For me, we have having any problems. Each lady is individual. Of course, this is an alternative treatment, so you can't give out saying that it's safe. But you can make an educated decision if
Mhm.
you want to try something holistic, when you want to go that approach instead of going the other way. So it's just what you
Mm.
want to do.
So
But
how often, I guess, would you recommend or not recommend that a woman or whoever, let's just say women, get the V steam? Like how often? Like they can't come back. Is it every week or is that too much?
Oh no, good question. No, so it's actually twice a month, before
Okay.
your cycle and after your cycle. For ladies who are doing it for if they got womb issues, or even we have helped ladies conceive. So if they're doing it for infertility, but
Oh
typically the
wow.
lady wants to come in twice a month, and then some ladies are just making this part of their self care, ritual,
Wow.
and so they'll come in once a month, and I always give them news that they absolutely can use. So,
Uh-huh. Good, good.
We got one question in the comments.
okay.
Somebody's asking. Let's see, Leslie Jones is asking, have you ever seen an allergic reaction?
No, we have not seen an allergic reaction. Typically, if ladies know that they are allergic to certain type of herbs, then they'll know. But no, there has not been any allergic reaction thus far with us doing that.
And I had one more question,
Hmm.
kind of like along that same lines. With when you're dealing with steam, now I know people have been cooking or something before, and you have steam, and you might get a steam burn. Is there a
Yeah.
possibility that somebody could get burned with with this
Ouch.
process?
Good question. That is why,
Ew.
with this becoming more popular and ladies are getting on board, you do have to make sure that the chair is properly designed, because it should not, like I say, it's just a nice warm feeling. It's not right close to the vagina. So, because
Okay.
you want to prevent that. And so that is a really good question. So I'm glad that's brought up, because I am Yoni Steaming. This is my journey, and I'm glad other people are getting into it, but
Mhm.
we do want to be safe.
So, I kind of have two questions and are vastly different. So, the first thing is you said that you're glad that women are getting into it. How does someone become how does someone do what you're doing? How do they become uh what is it?
A Yoni Steam specialist.
A
So,
yoni steam specialist.
so just
Yes.
based on where they're at depends on how your state deals with holistic and alternative practices and medicines. Is the first thing, if you can do this. Great thing about Texas, they do allow you, to do holistic healing, so you fall under that.
Mhm.
Um, get the best thing is to get with an herbalist,
Mhm.
because you want to know about the different herbs and what they, what can and cannot mix well together. We actually were going to start in 2020 to actually start teaching the classes, so that kind of been pushed out because of the COVID. Hopefully
Right.
2021 that we'll be able to do it. But like I always tell people, the herbs, that is 20% of the treatment and the service itself. The 80% is working with the mentality and the mental, the trauma. Remember, we had a brief conversation where I'm telling ladies, 2021, lead with your femininity. What is femininity? And stop being a queen.
Right.
You're not a queen. Learn how to be a princess. I'm not a queen. My mother's still alive.
Right.
And I'm the baby,
Yeah.
and I have two sisters. I would never be a queen this lifetime, and I do not want to be a queen.
To be a little
I'm a
Ooh,
princess.
princess.
ooh.
Okay.
Think she's stepping on some toes with that one,
I
because there's
know,
gonna be some
right?
people here that in the audience that's like, I'm a
Shoot,
queen.
I
No,
sure
you're
thought I
not.
was a queen. Oh
No,
my
darling, is
goodness.
your mother? You have sisters?
She's
Are they?
still, yeah, she's
Oh,
still
well,
alive.
darling, you're a princess, and you're in training to be a queen. If
I'm
your
in
queen
Ooh,
was to depart,
training. Oh my
ooh.
gosh. You know
see,
what?
here's
Thank
the.
you.
You want me to break it down, or we can go into
No,
it?
Yes,
no,
break
yeah,
it.
break it
No, break it
down.
down.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you say that, like say you're going to step on some toes. Okay, remember I said we're at 80% high for fortunate single mother homes, and so it typically goes like this. And this is just based on, I call them isms, Brandy isms. Okay,
Okay.
if you come from a two-parent home, typically you are in the princess phase from birth to the age of 12. By the time you make it to middle school and you're still in your princess, phase, because you have daddy there allow you to be your princess, and what it feels like to be protected, covered, and be able to express your emotions and to be vulnerable because you're a princess. Okay, but by the time she gets in middle schools, of her peers will like, why you're doing all that, you're doing too much, you're too extra. So she will drop that princess role because she's not feeling like she can mingle with her peers, and she takes on this queen role. But to be a queen comes with wisdom and time and knowledge and being vetted. And so typically it goes to, if she comes from a single mother home, she's normally a princess from the age of 0 to 6. Sometimes it can extend to the age of 8. But typically by the time of age of 6, she becomes a queen. I need you to take that food out and cook it. Get your brother, get your sister. And so typically what happens is that you want to be a queen, but you haven't learned how to be a princess. So we get into this whole relationship things, and while there's a battle of masculine and feminine energy battle, soon as you get with a guy, you want to step right in and dictate to him. Like,
Right.
wait a minute,
Yeah.
bro, you don't know me. Pause.
Wow. I
But
like
when
this. Keep
look,
going.
but when the princess comes in, oh my goodness, how are you? Okay,
I mean, it makes sense to me.
You know
I'm
what? When
just saying.
yeah,
Oh,
when you talk like that and you break it down like that, okay, it makes sense. And so it's like the people that are being the queens are kind of like pretend, or it's almost like they want to say that they're a queen because of whatever happened in the past. They're trying to bring themselves up and make themselves feel bigger than what the give them themselves a platform than what they really need to be
Hold
on.
on, I got something that I'm thinking about. See, what it sounds like to me is what she's saying in my mind is some of these young ladies are brought up and they have queen qualities, but they're not qualified for the position yet.
Right.
yeah, right.
Exactly. Yes. Look
So they
at
still
you,
have
big
some
kid.
learning to do. They still have
Mhm.
some learning and some life to live and some learning to do before they can assume the position of queen.
Yeah, and the same thing with the guys. Like I say, I'm gonna take it back. We're at 80% high of single mother homes. So you can have more beta males out. So it'll take up it, like how he has to learn how to be an alpha.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
so we're trying to jump into these roles and want to know why our marriages are failing, or we can't get together because we're trying to play out roles that nobody has given us the strip.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Facts.
Makes sense. So, a kind of almost in the same line as that is that you're also known as a modern day spiritual guru and healer. Where did that come from?
You know what? I believe it's just innately within me. Like I told people, I was in my background was in oil and gas, and I love science and those things. And I guess it was just always there. And I just always been a positive person. I just always put it off that, oh, I'm a Leo. I'm ruled by the sun, darling. Oh, let's
Mhm.
happy. Let's go have some cocktails. But I realized the power of my gift of, motivating people, or I'm really big about looking at the mirror, look in the mirror. Do not fall into victim mentality.
Yeah.
And I think, whole thing with that strong, independent superwoman program, oh, they wear the victim mentality with a badge of honor. And, so we do that. And so I make people look in the mirror because I had to do it. Like if someone comes to tell me and they be like, oh, I'm celibate. I'm like, great. I've been celibate for 5 years. Oh, you're scared. That's not a badge of honor. So you don't get a badge because you out
Right.
there, you just shut it down. You get a badge when you wake up every day and you keep doing it to get better and progress. So some of these ladies on this self-care journey has fell into, oh, self-love, or I'm just scared because
Yeah.
I can't trust myself.
Right. I agree. I agree. And that's why they are, single for a minute. So, we won't talk
That
about
Kevin
that.
Samuels guy. I don't know if y'all follow him. A lot of people, he's been getting, some stuff Kevin be saying, it makes sense. You gotta get realistic. Come on,
Yeah.
So, and he's been getting a lot of pushback, but it's time. It's time to put the mirror in the face. It's not all the men, and it's not
Mhm.
all the women, but I am one to tell guys like, yeah, I know they keep. I mean, they make us think it's all you. Oh, girl,
Yeah.
what they'll tell you? Oh, girl, he's
Mhm.
intimidated by you. You're a
Yeah.
woman. He's a
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, I just, I hear, yeah, and I know we're kind of getting off topic a
uh,
little bit, but I see that on social media a lot about sometimes women are bashing men, and I'm like, it's not always the man's fault, like it's like Brandy said, you got to pick up the mirror and look at yourself because it's not always the men. Big Kim, were you about to say something?
Nah, I was saying a lot of the stuff she's saying. You said we got off subject a little bit. We did, but it's needed. Like the words that
Mhm.
she's dropping. I mean, the thought process that she's explaining. I think people need to hear it because I mean, somebody out there is gonna get helped by this whole conversation. They thought they
Oh
were
yeah.
tuning in for the V steaming, and they really need to go get the V steaming and the words and the knowledge that she gonna drop on them. So, hey, really and truly, you get more bang for your buck if you go and
Oh
Exactly.
yeah.
check out her
Yeah.
service. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what it
So
sounds like to me.
yeah. Brandy, you with your services, you also offer V Steam like workshop and party. That just seems like it's sad. It just seems cool, but then you think about it, man. You're like, if it's women, it's like a bunch of these women squatting on the little.
You know, it's good
It's
to get your tribe together, you know,
uh
and really when the ladies are really to do that whole mind, body, spirit. You know, I always tell, you know, it's getting your tribe, and you guys are being accountable, you know, and it's just what ladies it's needed. So yeah, so we
yeah.
get ladies, and basically my conversation of what we're talking about now is what we talk about, and I give them thought. You know, they leave and they'll think about it and like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
you
hmm
know. So
Yeah, they're getting all nice and warm, and they're also
yeah.
getting some advice and some thoughts. So
Exactly. So, you know, I tell we're not a strong, independent superwoman over here. I don't push that narrative. You are into your femininity.
yeah.
You can be a heaven on earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, yeah. Oh, Brandy, before we let you go, I want to ask you this. You know, I know you take a holistic approach to wellness and you teach women, how to do the same. But one question I want to ask you is that do women ever come to your place just because they want to enhance their sex drive or make sex better with like their husband or their
Oh
significant other?
yes, yes,
They do?
most definitely they do come, because you know as we progress and we get older, things change. So yes, they do
Hmm.
come, and even this knowledge that I was just dropping, married women, I have to give it to them. You know, they get them too, and make them think and be like, oh yeah, you know. So I always tell ladies, if you say these three things, it's magical.
Oh,
You're
let me
right.
hear him. Come on, come on, come on.
You're right.
You're right.
I
You're
never
right.
thought of it that way. What do you think?
Oh my
Oh my
gosh.
God. Oh
I
my
don't
God.
care if he says 2 + 2 = 6. I never thought of it that way.
How does that work on co-host? Like, does that work on co-host?
I
If I have
mean,
like a co-host on my show, could he?
why?
Okay.
Why you? You know what I'm saying? Things is going good, and you had to ruin it with that.
Okay, I'm sorry. You know what, Brandy? I
Uh-huh.
learned so much, and I am going to research a steaming. Never heard of it in my life,
Mhm.
and it's like V steaming. Yeah, I've heard of it, and I want to try it, but I had to ask myself, why am I trying it? But when after talking to you, I just really want to try it. Just one for the experience, and then the other is just to have that another way to relax.
Yeah, and
You know,
reconnect back with your divine femininity.
yes,
Get
my
your je ne
divine
sais quoi back,
femininity,
baby, about
my
you,
je ne
okay?
sais quoi.
Yeah. So
Yes,
now, ladies, y'all
honey.
can y'all can throw that bottle of vinegar out the window.
Gross.
You was raised by your grandma,
I
wasn't you? What you
know
know about that
exactly,
vinegar?
right?
No.
Oh my God, Brandy, thank you so much for introducing us to vagina steaming and A steaming and another way for women to take care of themselves in a holistic way. So if you want to know more about Brandy's services, visit serenityvsteam.com. And thank you again so
Oh,
much.
Yeah.
We
you're
really, really,
welcome
Thank
really
so much,
you
appreciate it.
darling.
for the
Yes,
information, and thank you for preaching on today. We're gonna
yes.
pass the plate, and we're gonna let you know how much we collect, and we're gonna come holler at you.
There
All
you
right.
go.
Thank you. Have a good one. Good
All
night.
right.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Bye. That was awesome. Oh my
Very
gosh.
insightful.
That was
Very
crazy.
learned way more than what we thought, and
Yes, we did.
she gave some amazing words, and she gave people something to think about.
Yeah, she
Now,
really
I'm not
did.
saying that a lot of these ladies were receptive to the concepts that she spoke of,
Mhm.
but it made sense to me.
Yeah, and it really does, because a lot of times it's like we always say, we bring people on the show, one, because of the knowledge, and two, is because they can spread that knowledge uh to our viewers. And so it's not like just because we bring someone on that talks about sex, someone that talks about business, someone that talks about yoga. There's always more to it. These people are human, and so
Oh yeah.
there's always a lot more to these discussions, which is why I love to bring these interesting people on the show. And you know
I
and
mean,
they
this
they
was
thrive.
interesting because, like I
It
said, the
was.
first thing you think about is, people doing, women doing it for sexual purposes.
Right.
But, when she talked about the other services that she offered, along with the V steaming, I
Hmm.
think to me, that would put her over the top of somebody else who just offers this, just offers the service.
Right. Oh yeah.
So,
So.
because that's big. Like I said, again, I'm blown away by some of the stuff she said.
Oh
It's
yeah.
it's refreshing to hear a lady speak the way that she spoke today
Hmm.
about those topics, and get them some V statements. So, lady,
That's
she's
right.
trying to get you all together here and down
Wait.
there.
Yeah, so hold on. Yes,
Hmm.
but she also wants to get the men together. So I
Well,
gotta.
she
Wait,
does,
wait,
but
no. I want to ask you this question. Would you try a steaming?
nah, nah. I'm
Why
I'm I'm
not?
I'm born in 1980, and we got certain things that we don't do. I mean, that's
But
just
it's
not me. It's
steam.
not for everything's not for everybody.
I
Everybody
know it's
don't
not.
eat ice cream.
No, no,
Some
no,
people
no.
some
I'm
people don't
just
like ice
saying
cream.
no. The reason they don't like it because they tried it. They tried it and they didn't like it. So I'm asking you, would you try it? And
Nah, I'm
then
good on that. I
it's
am
just
good on
steam,
that.
though.
I
It's
am
just
good on that.
it's steam in your butt. You know
I
what's
like
steam in your butt?
only thing I want hot around my butt is going out.
Okay, so
Yeah.
yeah, so on next week's show, which I am I'm
Facts.
just gonna move on from you.
Yes.
So
Gotta let the world know. No.
yes. So if you thought today's show was interesting, oh my gosh, wait until you hear or watch next week's show, because we are having Johnny from Forbidden Fruit on the show, and he is going to talk to you about the best type of vibrators for the first time, the best type of vibrators for couples. We're going to talk about oil and lube, but it sounds crazy, but it's life, it's not, and also I've talked to a lot of people in the sex industry, in the adult toy industry, and they said that right now, sales for adult toy products is out. Yes, it's out the roof. I mean, so it's a big business right now, and but sex toys, adult toys has always been a big business. But Johnny, man, he is going to talk to us about some products, show us some products. It's going to be a fun show. So yeah, you have to tune in
Yeah,
next
sounds like it's
week.
gonna be a interesting show.
It's going
So
to be a
y'all
very
make sure
interesting.
y'all tune back in. I appreciate the tune. I appreciate the people who tuned in today. Y'all have acted up in these comments. These comments have. Oh my god. Ugh.
Yeah, but when you talk about sex and then you talk about something that's new to could enhance your sex life, people tune in, they listen, and hey, keep tuning in for other stuff.
Yeah, they want to tune in to see how they can tighten that thing up, and
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. They
you
found out it's a service that can help you.
yeah, exactly. And
Everybody's gonna
so
be happy.
yeah, and we'll keep you guys posted on if we can get Ken, to do an A steam. Okay, so anyway, remember you can remember you can catch KUTC live every Wednesday right here on Facebook Live. And if for some strange reason you missed the show, you can always go to blacklightentertainment.com and watch all the shows. You can also watch them on KUTC Live. All the shows, even last season's, because we're in season 2. All right, every week we like to end the show with a positive quote, and because it's, the love month, our quote is, "Love is when your happiness is someone else's happiness." Until next time.
Make sure y'all keep up the conversation and throw that vinegar out.
Oh,
Peace.
peace.
Follow Keeping Up the Conversation on Facebook at KUTC Live.